straight. You can have what it takes, but give me some bucks and I'll be straight. You can have what it takes, but give me some bucks and I'll be straight. What it takes, just give me some bucks and I'll be straight. You can have what it takes, give me some bucks and I'll be straight. Need some money. I need some money. Welcome. Okay, sorry. Pro Se Lawsuit Center. Yeah, we can jam and then we can get right to business. Because that's how we roll. Okay. Get everything lined up here. I'll take off half of that headset. So, welcome to the show tonight. Tonight's show, we're featuring, the marriage dissolution lawsuit package. And we was calling the divorce crusher or whatever for a while because we had to beef this package up here a little while back and turn it into like an actual lawsuit package because these, you guys can go to the YouTube channel and just punch in, my foster kid divorce. And we got a whole bunch of videos. We like my ex-foster kid let me like do whatever I wanted. Okay. And so a long story short, after 8 or 9 months of them continually trying to go after him, he had already placed a marriage dissolution document on the public record. And at that time, it was just a couple of documents, it wasn't a lawsuit. Well, there was a lawsuit in there, but it wasn't like it is now. Anyway, so, they kept harassing him. They kept trying to pull stuff. And, I had his power of attorney and I already knew what they were going to do. So I already had all the documents, what we needed to have ready to go. I just like played it out, to see, exactly. And this is how I learned how to do a lot of stuff
Because if I'm, okay, so I don't want to foster kid one day. I mean, he's a grown man, okay? He's like 45, 40 something, I don't know. But we're talking one day, and I told him, okay, man, dude, we have to get serious over here. If I go to court, I'm not going to shut up. If they haul you to jail, I'm going to be in jail too shortly thereafter. So he looked me right in the eye and said, Dad, I'm not scared of going to jail. I've been there before. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay. Let's just stick with what we got going on right now because we don't want to. Oh, yeah. Okay. But no, yeah. And, I know him since he was a kid. He knows how I roll. Okay. Yeah. He knows how I roll. And so the case against him, the divorce case crap, got dismissed. And there's like 4 videos of that on the YouTube channel. And, we beat them in the face, but they try to ignore everything, just like what you guys are going through. And then, then we filed in federal court. And when we did that and served them, well, we served them and then they went and dismissed that stuff on the state court level. Now, where the case is, okay,
lost the connection or something. And anyway, so I wasn't here to keep up with things, and I really wasn't. I really didn't have anybody here that I trusted that would stay on top of things. And my ex and I were, were things shit. Everybody had we all had our own lives, our own problems and shit we're taking care of. So, right now it's dismissed without prejudice because they wouldn't serve, because they wouldn't take my emails after I got to Arizona. So sometimes they figure out 2 months, but that's all right because it worked out just fine. Now I'm back in Kansas, and we're going to get that back on the table and get that handled here probably next week sometime. But right now, I get to give myself a review. I get Coach Neighbors gets to give himself a video review for the work that he did on getting the state divorce case dismissed against my ex-foster kid, Rodney. Dismissed, dropped, zilch, done, in the story. Okay, so I'm giving myself an 8. I'm giving myself 5.5 stars, mainly because, well, you know how it is when you work for family, you always step up. Oh, wait, I step up anyway when I work for everybody. I like jumping over the bar just in case you slip or something, or you still, No. I like, this is the therapy for what they put me and my family through. The therapy, what I do, what I help you guys learn how to do is therapy for me. And keeps me from being a hater. That's the last thing I want to teach my kids or my grandkids, how to be a hater, so. And we turn that into some positive energy, and here we are teaching people how to stay out of, how to take care, Okay, so I give myself good grade. I'm giving myself 5.5 stars. I'm going to stick another half over there because they tried some slinky stuff. They did. My foster kid, his ex, they know what he does. He's a foreman at a construction site, and he's not able to just jump up and run over there all the time. So they start trying to get him to show up at these Zoom, meetings, And so one time I went on, he was actually working in town, and I went over to the construction site too and was telling him what to say. I think they could hear me, but the other attorney, Joshua Matthews, he was telling the judge shit, and the judge was telling him to shut up and be quiet, and he wasn't listening to her. So why the hell would I? I ain't gonna listen to her anyway. So we tapped on the thing and told them we were losing connection, and that was the end of that. You don't have to do no Zoom hearing shit. We told them we want to be right in the courtroom. And I went, they said, but your foster dad can't come. Well, first they said I could come, and I had to be quiet. I emailed them, told them I'm not going to come and be quiet. So, so then they told me I can't come, and I was like, well, y'all ass ain't having a hearing yet anyway, because y'all ain't figured out how to get past the gate. That's what Coach Regina said on her interview, on her review. That's on, So anyway, they tried a couple of things. One time, my vice kid messaged me at 8:30 in the morning and told me that they was trying to enforce him and have a hearing at 10:30. And so I tell him, dude, don't worry about it. He's like, Dad, no, you ain't up now. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Because I knew they were going to do something. So the goal is to stop their process. And so people get their head twisted around the conventional stuff where you got to argue this case law and all of this stuff. No. That's an administrative. And in judicial, you just stop their process. Okay, so I had a demand to recuse the judge because we'd already filed the lawsuit against her and done so. So I got up early that morning, got dressed, put on my tie, went down there, made a video.
me going down there to file their recusal test. Okay, but I called them and complained, and I let them know that I was coming, and I wasn't happy with them because the dude that took. Okay, so they stalled getting the stuff to the last time. Stalled getting the stuff over there while they went ahead, and so the clerk. I'm not exactly sure what the clerk did. Okay, but what I do know is that when I got there was like 8 sheriff deputies, and he was just like 3. I said, "Oh, what then?" I kind of looked around and had the machine set, and I didn't realize this till well, I was like, maybe they don't have nothing to do. I mean, I really didn't pay a whole lot. I didn't notice. I mean, okay, when you're a big black man, you notice when there's a bunch of police, a whole bunch of them. Or just one. I don't know. That's just, So I knew most of them. And so the older one. So I walked in and hey guys, women, hey, take me out. Everybody's watching the suit. I don't want to pit in here. I don't think I got nothing else, So then I went through. He said, "Oh, it's just a little sensitive." And though they were all just kind of okay, so you guys busy? Y'all look like y'all not very busy. Started giving her a bunch of shit. Oh, and so then when I got to the clerk's office, the clerk that I had been communicating with came to the other one went and stood over there, and that's when things started clicking. Everything, yeah. So, in my opinion, the clerk went and told them a bunch of. I don't know, maybe they were a bunch of stuff and a narcissistic rage, maybe like that. That happened before where someone does that when they're, and tell people a bunch of stuff that's not true. But it didn't matter because I'm not violent. I'm not violent. If they want to arrest me, they just tell them, I mean, if it's a situation where I possibly could be arrested, I'm going to be sitting down on the ground. I'm just going to sit down on the ground before it even gets to all of that and let them know they can just relax, okay? Because I'm too old for that shit. I just see y'all in court. It's kind of how I know. Nope. The government tried for 33 months to force me to lose my temper so they could keep me locked up in that place where they sent me because I refused to lie on my wife 3 years later after they said that she was doing all of these things. So selling stolen property and, whatever. They found out now, deal taker. They came and offered me the deal. Didn't realize I was there protecting her in the first place, but they came and offered me the deal. And the deal was that if I lied, well, they said if I told them that there was something going on in my wife's store, that's all I had to say. I had to just say something, leave the door open for them. I guess they just wanted to be, if I told them that they could get me out today, and not only they could get me out, they would let me keep my house. We, bought this big ass pretty house we've been paying on for around 8 or 10 years. Had a hot tub on the deck, a jacuzzi tub, and they said they'll let me keep that. And some of the stuff that took out of my wife's business that wasn't stolen. I'm like, none of the shit was stolen. Y'all ain't proving nothing was stolen. Okay, I'm thinking in my head, they must think I'm stupid. I mean, all of the snitches that they paid to lie on my ex-wife, Carrie, all the snitches that they paid to lie on her, they let people get out of jail and all kind of, after we caused a bunch of trouble, stink, and I called the FBI and watched it a whole bunch of times. And, Yeah. So all of the stink, they want to make me the deal. I can trust them, right? I know it's funny because the day that it took me in the room, they had me locked up because I kept talking and I wouldn't shut the hell up. And so they locked me up for contempt of court. And then after 6 months, they had to do something. So they tried to get me a couple of times to lie on my wife. And the last time I had one of the guards that was, was Mexican go in the meeting with me because I didn't trust them, and they was pretty mad. They have a time frame that they have to get this shit done. If it don't get done, I ain't sure what all that is, but that's what I found out, and that's what I used to get out, like holding my breath the whole time. Okay, but they offer me my own shit. I mean, that's slap in my face. They don't offer me, man. Offer me some of the snitches stuff or the prosecutor shit. I know they got older. Okay. No, but I told them when they offered me the deal, I told them, yo no quiero ver mi casa ahorita porque me gusta la comida aquí en La Pinta. Oh, they got really, really mad. And the guard almost started laughing. And they looked at me, and of course, my attorney and the investigator didn't speak any Spanish, I'm assuming. Otherwise, they would have understood. And I told the guard, por favor, dile, which means please tell him. And the guard said, Mr. Neighbors said he doesn't want to go home right now because he likes the food here in prison. That's what I told their asses. Then they shipped me out for a bunch of mental evaluations. It took me 33 months to get back, I mean, that does sound kind of crazy, but, but they could never get me to lose my temper. And I found out later, after I got out, that my attorney threw me under the bus totally. Cheryl Pilot out of Overland Park off of Cherry Street threw me totally under the bus. And what they did was while they had me on their government vacation, they paid snitches commissary to try to pick a fight with me. And they knew I boxed, and they knew. Yeah, I want to tell them, kind of, oh my God, in 1985, oh my God, that was okay. But you know what? It don't matter. They know that. And so what they wanted was me to lose my temper so they could medicate me in the facility without a judge's order. And I didn't figure that out till later on. Okay, let's get back to the marriage document thing. Now, I'm giving myself a good review because we got the case dismissed. They didn't get the jump on us. And even if they had got the jump, there's ways where we can get the jump back by filing supplemental pleading or doing whatever we did. And now we strengthen this package. And I'm going to show it to you now. This package is a $600 package. Is usually I had it at like $300. I had it at $250. I marked it down to $150 for the first week of this month. So if you need the marriage dissolution situation, you need to get over there and get this package because it's right now it's set up, and I'm going to show it to you here, and then just kind of talk you through it while we're looking at it. We're going to do a screen share. Right here, the marriage dissolution package stops divorce court from destroying your life. No, people didn't know the state of marriage license was never about love. And you can see
It was about a contract that you didn't need to have, one that gave the government power over your family, your finances, and even your children. And when you try to leave the marriage with the same license, becomes a weapon to drag you back into divorce court, where attorneys, judges, and bar members feed off of your pain. That's just and demand money, force you to surrender your financial records, strip away your property until you're left with less than half of what you. Okay, and then you get half of that. I don't know. That's but there's the truth. You don't need to play their game. The marriage dissolution package is structured, gives you back control. The problem is divorce court exists for profit, not protecting families or making things fair. Attorneys and judges get rich while family members are torn apart. You lose privacy and end up with less than half of what you had. Less than half of what you had. The state never disclosed that you didn't need a license to be married under common law. This package allows you to legally dissolve the marriage through the public record and use federal courts only if needed. Okay, if they give you a hard time, like they did my foster kid. That's how we got the extra stuff in here. You stay in control every step of the way. With this package, you will record your notice of marriage dissolution on the public record. Now, not file it, you record it in the public record. Once stamped, the judge is toast. Doesn't matter if they already claim control or if there already was a divorce proceeding against you. And this was the situation with my foster kid, and we crushed it with the stuff that we have here. Now, we'll just say that the state, this package will stop the state from dragging you into divorce litigation, or if they drag you into divorce litigation like they did, then you'll be you'll be more than ready. Keep your property, your money, and your private information safe from attorneys and bar members. We use the counterclaim to jam up the state process, to jam up the state court. It don't matter. We use the counterclaim to jam up. Anytime someone files a claim against you, you want to go back at them with a counterclaim for whatever you want. Add your $200 million to the table in the counterclaim. But before you do that, you want to add the state. You want to add the judge, because the state's paying the judge. The state of who you paid the contract with before, but you didn't know. Keep up with me now. You add the state, you add the judge, and you add the divorce attorney and the ex, because the ex is the one directly supposed to be paying. Now you want to get the money first. Okay, so if they try to ignore you, or if you already have a case against you, okay, now you also have your federal lawsuit that you be filing in federal court. That's what we did to crush all of that. But you gotta have you gotta have a file. What we did, we have stuff showing. Now, what we did was we took a certified copy of the complete docket sheet from state court to add as to our federal court filing as evidence. Now, what this does, well, once you put in a public record, there's no need for a divorce court. You won't need the services of the court, because putting in the court record is the only thing they did to make it legal. And put in the court record that is dissolved is what they're going to do to make it legal. That is dissolved. It should cost like $10. Okay,
This takes away the judge's authority by removing the dissolution. That's, it was already complete. This takes away the judge's authority by proving that the dissolution was, it's done already. It's a wrap. Now, this doesn't divide the property, but this does give you control over things for now. Forces the attorney and bar members into defense instead of allowing them to control you. This blocks the foreclosure process before it starts and stalls the system. If they try to push forward, this creates the evidence, like I said, certified copy of the, turn the system upside down by making them justify their misconduct instead of you begging for recognition. This is not about asking for permission. This is about declaring your freedom and forcing the system to stop. Now, what's inside of this? Now, in this package, we also have the instructions, and we're going to start putting the instructions in all of our packages so you can see right from the product page what you have to do and not have to, you should go look at the video anyway. Okay, but this will give you a better understanding because for me, I'm better at reading this than I am. Now, two together, bam, it should knock it out. Okay, so you get the notice of marriage dissolution, the document that you'll place on the public record. Now, that should be the end of it. You get a copy that has a little stamp on the side. And you can provide a copy for the other person if you want to. If it's a situation, you probably should, so that they know. Now, you're also going to get a judicial notice of the dissolution that you can file, and it's everything that we do is structured for federal court. This trumps the state court process and blocks them from being able to respond anyway because they can't respond to federal case law with statutes and codes. Bam, it's a little check down. Okay, so judicial notice of dissolution. Now, judicial notice of dissolution is if there's a case already or whatever, and you also have a counterclaim. And I don't really like that word template. We're going to take that word out. It's a counterclaim lawsuit document, counterclaim document. And this counterclaim document is usually the first thing that I file if there's a case against you already. Or if you put your marriage dissolution and like they did with my foster kid later down the road, try to drag him into the divorce court anyway. So what are you going to do? So most of the time they don't have somebody that spent their life teaching people and helping people take care of this problem. Okay, so you got the counterclaim, and then the counterclaim is also the lawsuit, but you'll have two copies. One will be the counterclaim because you have to switch around, and then you'll have one will be the lawsuit. And you don't see it in here, so I'm going to have to add it. And then you got the step-by-step instructions. And you guys can just see the rest of this. We also have a constitutional emergency, a statement of constitutional emergency, which in the document forces them to move it up to the higher court. So this package, even just the document that you want to file in the first place, that document has been totally redone too. And then you can see some links here to some of our other stuff. And there's our bar card. You guys should all go and get that bar card. And then you write your name in there and take it down and have lemonade. You might want to make a couple of them. And you can sell them too. Have your bar card business. Okay, so hey, welcome, Frederick. Okay, so yeah, we got all kind of stuff going on over here. We're going to take a look at something else too. We got a few new products on the table right now. Now, the first thing we're going to start out with is the training hub. Oh, I need to show it to you guys. Okay, sorry. What? You guys can't see it? We got to share the screen again. Okay. Foreclosure offense training student hub. This is going to be where we communicate at until I get the course set up, and we may keep this anyway. But this is where we're going to be communicated at. This is where you guys will come, and I'll be leaving. As you see, we can scroll down here. I'll be leaving the lessons in here. There's updates and announcements. I'll be leaving the times that we're going to be having the video, the Zoom meetings, and then each of the modules here will be recorded and placed in there, the training modules. Now, some of the modules will be video recorded, and then you'll be able to access them here, or I think you record them too. I don't really care. I think if you are going to do this as a business, you would want to record your own at some point in time. And so that's what we're going to do. This is going to be our download library. And right now, this page is open. Anybody can look at it. But once I put the stuff in here, once I start probably next Tuesday or something, I want to leave it open for a couple of days so new people can see the value that we're bringing to the table. Okay, but once I start putting the stuff that you need to take care of the situation in here, and this stuff I put in here is going to be the stuff that's going to be an online course. Now, I didn't want to structure. Well, I have the course set up on my own website now, thanks to Humira from Pakistani. She is the one that's making all this stuff look so beautiful. Thank you, Humira, for all of the work that you do. I'm sure I don't pay you enough. Okay, I don't think you'll have too many bosses who say that to people. So, yeah, but you know what? We're gonna keep on doing this because right now it's looking pretty. Yeah, so this is where you'll come and get the downloads that I put. So this is going to be a lot easier for you guys to come here and get what you need. And then there's a place where you can ask questions or whatever down here. At some point, I'm going to have like a chat window, or I can chat with just the people that we're working on stuff together. So I have a program for that, but it's we got to get the front half put together first before we can worry about the back half. So we're gonna have video training library, and we'll have some of these videos will be out of the YouTube channel, out of our YouTube channel. The eviction stopper stuff. I'm stuck on saying video. The eviction stopper stuff, and we're going to have some other videos here that people need to watch, stopping the court process. Okay, people need to learn more that this is about stopping the court process because they're violating your due process and administrative process. So now we're stuck on process. And you know, when you look at it that way, everybody's stuff's the same. I mean, it really is. Everybody's stuff is the same. It doesn't matter actually. Okay, the only difference in my head is if you're looking at criminal or property. Because other than that, everybody's stuff the same. They're violating you with statutes and codes. Statutes and codes are not valid laws. They don't have enacting clause, titles, or bodies. Somebody was arguing with me on YouTube and told me that they're fake law, they're positive law, something. I'm gonna because legislature, you know. Okay, so where I came from, okay, I'm going by what the Constitution says and federal law. Because the Constitution and the federal law says for something to be a law, it has to have an enacting clause, a title. Oh, sorry, wrong finger. I can't see myself. And a body. And they don't have that. So that person can say whatever they want. So right now we have it set up here. And you guys all have my number already. If you're in online course, you have my number, and we talked about what the protocol is for calling me. So, and you can be calling me when you get something in the mail. Now, there's some useful links to where you already know where all these go. Now, you can see here this educational purposes or whatever, and I don't really care about that because they tried to shut me down 3 times, and they don't give a crap about your disclaimer. I'm just saying. So that's going to be the page that we'll use to communicate on. There'll be a place here, I don't know, someplace here you can leave a comment. It's supposed to be in there somewhere. We'll get that figured out. Maybe it was in the review section. Maybe it was in the review section for the comments. We'll have to check on that. Now I do have one other product too. Oh, there it was right there. Oops. Maybe we'll get to show it too. Oh, no, that was not the right one. We have the new online course product page has been set up, and it came out really nice. We have the course outline. I think we have like 10 modules now. So we're going to share one more time. Okay, this is the Foreclosure Offensive Online Course. The Foreclosure Offense Training Program online course with a RICO strategy. It gives you the tools you need to stop the foreclosure and turn knowledge into income. Learn how to freeze property with the less pendants using the federal RICO filing and expose fraud. And so this online course is coming in $3,500. You get lifetime coaching, weekly live streams, and up to actually it's like 2,400 videos from Pro Se Lawsuit Center training. And you can train your in-house team or start a legal coaching business and help family members in any state. And you can have your in-house team work in any state. So I've been excited about the online course. I haven't talked too much about it lately, but we got 10 people ready to take the RICO training, and so we're just going to turn that into the online course. So I'll have 10 or 20 or maybe 30 reviews, because we're asking for reviews not just in the end, along the way, when you get the aha moment. Okay, when you get the aha moment, or the oh shit moment, or the oh damn. And y'all know what I'm talking about. This course is different. Clear goals, stop the court process. That's it. Well, what about number one goal is stay in your house, keep your family in your house. That's number two goal, is get your deed out of their office. To get your deed delivered, like the property transfer statute mandates, the deed is supposed to be delivered, but that's not what they do. Yeah, that's this shows you real options when the attorneys and the courts turn you away. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I've been working on for the last 4 or 6 months, is the options for when they turn you away. And we might have to talk about those in a Zoom training, because I can't put what we're going to talk about in Facebook already. They don't want no more of my streams over there. So I don't really care. That's the wrong finger. I don't really care. Okay. This helps you build a legal coaching business or train your in-house team to handle property disputes in any state. This flips the foreclosure defense and offense using federal filings and strategy. And this comes with lifetime coaching and weekly live streams. And this isn't theory. This isn't a theory. This isn't theoretical. This is education with a punch. Okay, with teeth, with a punch. I like a punch better. Designed to protect your home and put you in command. And so these are what the modules look like at this point, and we'll be making some changes to them when we get to them. We're still in the cosmetic stage. I'm making sure everything works. But, we're going to add probably one. Maybe we'll add what I need to add in this module. We need to add something about the conventional and non-conventional program. And so people can understand they need to stay on the non-conventional and not put the head in the other side. So we're going to build a defendant tree. We already know. Okay, so in evidence. So this is, I'm going to go in and we're going to be looking closer at each one of these. But I wanted to get this on paper because we already got people that paid and we need to get ready to roll. And then we got new people. If you're interested, I have 4 spots that are still open for this training. And it's right now it's going to be at the price of the premium package for only $1,500. That's how much it's going to cost for the next 4 people that are interested. And then our group will be full. And then the price right there is $3,500. Once we get everything lined out and these people rolling, the next class is going to be $3,500, because we're going to have a whole bunch of videos and a bunch of happy people over here and stuff. So the foreclosure offense online course with the RICO strategy.
I didn't want to put the RICO in the main part of the title because everybody started freaking out about that. And some people, get a little freaked out about it. But you know what? At the end of the day, if they're trying to take your stuff and throw you out and throw your family out on the street, I think you wouldn't be worried about anything that you need to be doing to them. That's what. If you do, you shouldn't call me because I'm not going to stop. I don't know how to take a dive. I don't know how to take a dive, so I don't know how to do that. Okay, we all in, and that's the way it's going down while we're in. Okay, so I had some action going on and the other stuff that I got going on. So the stuff that I was doing in Stone, Arizona, I still have a case against them people for not accepting my supplemental pleading. My friend Julie, she got a little grumpy because the person that I told her was going to come in, I told her somebody was going to, when I put that RICO stuff and I drove it and put it on the doorstep, someone was going to be contacting her. Someone from the past that threw her under the bus that they could count on to get control of this would be contacting her to get. And then that happened. And in the beginning, she told me she didn't care about him. It didn't matter to me because I already knew that he was going to interfere in the case. And when she went down to file her stuff the first time, they treated her. She said that's the first time they took her stuff. They didn't give her any shit. Okay, then he started communicating with her again. And then they gave her shit and made her jump to whatever, the next time she went down there after I left. Mm-hmm. So I already know what happened. And so we'd already talked, and I added him to the federal filing because I knew he was interfering. His name my first rodeo. And then when she figured out it was RICO, I don't know, they must have got mad and yelled at her or something because then she wanted me to stop. And it was too late for that. And now you kick the beehive over, you better keep running. Or whatever it is you're doing. Yeah. So, no. So I didn't. And so I got fired because she was not happy that I didn't take this person off of the chopping block, off the stove, because it was really hot when we did the RICO. And then they got the lean stuff. Oh, but around here, the goal's the goal. I don't, I had one person I'm sure, you ever worry about getting shot. Well, yeah, I do every day of my life. But as you can see, it don't interfere. It does not interfere. What I worry about is having to go back to a mental institution. Mm-hmm. That would happen to you when you get stuck in there and stuff. That's why shut that shit down. And what I worry about what having to go and work at Walmart or whatever, or all day standing up. That's they took what it had and the stress they put on my wife eventually, caused us to separate and. Well, to get divorced. So, yeah. So, no. I'm enjoying my job right now. So, and it's a lot of fun helping people go through this. And, oh, wait. I get to give myself, thank you, Kendrick. I get to give myself 2 reviews on this marriage dissolution package. Okay? Because I used it myself for my ex-wife and I. I don't know, but they didn't give me no shit, but they knew me down there because I already been down there a whole bunch of times, jamming up the judge. And I got that
extra half a star. Okay, I got the extra half a star in the second one against for myself and my ex. It was a piece of cake because it was. Now we still are going to have to go back to court and split up and stuff, but she didn't consider all that when she was being a little smart mouth. So we're going to have to go back to court and split up and stuff later. But the first part of that was all, it was all taken care of. And now, after what they did to my foster kid, we have it built right now to crush the divorce process. It's like, say, it's already started. Once you place that on the public record, before they make any kind of a ruling, and even after, because all that they're doing is administrative, and it requires your agreement. It's administrative, and it requires your agreement. Now, the marriage dissolution package is marked down very low right now, and I'm going to leave it there for the first week of this month, the first week of the month sale. So if you're interested in that package, and for the first 5 people, I'll give you guys a little. You get a 1 hour. Yeah, you get a 1 hour crash after you go through all the stuff and check out the instructional videos and stuff, whatever. And then, because it's pretty self-explanatory, but, what I'll probably do is I'll just allow you 2 phone calls. We'll see how it goes. That way, if anything comes up, you'll know that you have. Now, that package, I think, and I forgot to, I don't know if I scrolled all to the bottom. I have to double check. I was kind of in a rush getting that thing up so we can show it tonight. I'm going to have the instructions in the page and how, when, how, and yeah, it's really cool how that's working out. It's interesting if you start this with the plan from the front. It ain't looking really good when you get to the end. So we're going to get over to the website now. Right now, the online course is going to be hosted on my own website, so I don't have to worry about nobody kicking me off. And that's a really cool thing. So the other thing that we found out where we're coming in with the RICO stuff, and we'll be talking about this in the RICO in the online course training. I'm trying to check it down a little bit so they won't be trying to jam me up. One of the things I find out with the RICO, that's what I used in Arizona that I filed against them people. They're playing hot potato with it. Oh, hot potato. So I just got something in the mail today that they're going to one judge is, and I didn't even know where that county is. It's been going all over the place. But, I'm just going to go in and file a demand to change venue back to where I filed it in the first damn place. Or maybe I'll just move it over here to Kansas. See, I like that shit. You can do. So we got the Les Pennis lien. It's on the website really cheap right now, and that's going to change too at the end of the week. So if you was interested in getting that Les Pennis lien, you better go over there and grab it. And the marriage dissolution is marked down right now as low as it's ever going to be. So you better grab it too. Welcome to the show, Chris. Appreciate you hanging out with us while we talk about stuff with a pink tie on and my red fingernails. Somebody sent me a message on YouTube, and they said that
they said that that must be gay because I have red fingernails and I wear pink. I wear pink stuff. I just laughed. Everybody likes pink stuff too. And if he's ever in town, I can hook him up to where he can get his nails done. We'll go down, dude. If you hearing me here, the dude that was sending me that gay bullshit on YouTube, on YouTube, hit me up. If you're in town, we'll go get our nails done together. Shit, you'll like it. I need mine starting to peel and starting to grow on the thing. I need to. No, dude. I'm sure you'll like it. You'll probably never again let your nails not be painted. So, and if you got granddaughters, they're gonna like it too. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay, guys, thank you guys for the value of sharing your time in this live stream. I showed you guys some of the new stuff that we got on the website. Y'all need to get over there and and check them out. Yeah. I was going to do the Give Me Money song, but my phone battery died. Oh, that means it's time to go eat. All right, guys, later. Pro Se Lawsuit Center. Get the marriage dissolution lawsuit package you need to dissolve your stuff.